Hello and welcome back to the Achievement Planner, and today I'm coming to you with an amazing game, Fallout 4. That is right, the famous Fallout 4. Yep, and it's totally different, but yet it's very similar to the other Fallout games. So let's talk about it. 84 achievements, 50 for the base game, so just a regular game, and then 34 for the DLC, and there are a whole bunch of DLC, and some of them are really easy, some of them take a long time. I think I bought them in a bundle, on sale. But yeah, you can definitely get them on sale. You had to buy them. 1600 gamer score. That's how much you'll get for all of this. And then this game is a 2 out of 10 difficulty. That's what I gave it. These games are not really hard because you could just save, do something hard, and then save again right after it, so you don't lose the progress. And then you can just keep saving whenever you want. So I feel like because of that, you can really play easily. Yeah, it's not that hard. All right, completion time 80 to 100 hours. And you know, it might take people more, maybe a little less if you know exactly, if you're listening to this plan, for example. All right, playthrough number 1, story mode, first ending. All right, so we'll have to talk about this. Playthrough number 2, reload manual save for other 3 endings. All right. Manual saves. So for this, you're going to have to make some manual saves. Unlike New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas, where you made one save. I remember making one single save before I went to Mr. House. And then from there, I just reloaded that save and went a different direction. Went that the same save and went to a different faction. So it's like kind of like not like that. This one has a lot of different things, so I'll have to go over it. Playthrough number 3, all the DLCs if you choose to do them. And yeah, Nuka-World, that's a long one. Anyway. So here we go. Story, category 1, story achievements. 23 achievements for 430 gamer score. Now, technically, I guess none of these are missable, but technically, many of them are missable. Yeah, what does that mean? All right, so what happens is, these are all the achievements you have here. I mean, I'm gonna really try to make it clear. So you have all these achievements, and at some point you can see here, like 8, Tradecraft, join the Railroad, Semper Invicta, join the Brotherhood. So joining these different factions, there's the Railroad, Brotherhood, Minutemen, and Institution. These are all, you're going to get achievements for joining them. And then in here, these are all missions for different quest lines. So even though it's under the Railroad, like once you do Mankind Redefined and Powering Up and Nuclear Family, those are actually part of the Institute quest line. So if you do the entire quest line, which if you're just playing for fun and you're not like paying attention to whose faction you're doing and making saves, you might just end up getting a lot of these just from playing the story. That's why they're not really missable, because as long as you're siding with a certain faction, you will get all of these achievements, all right? And then that last one is for beating the game. So, and the only other thing I have to say is the nuclear option number 22 is you could actually do that in 3 different quest lines, all the ones except for the Institute. So you just have to do it one time. Now, the next thing you can see here is how you do this if you want to make multiple saves. All right, if you're going to play the game 4 times in 4 different factions, just play it. You'll get all these achievements. But if you want to play it with one single playthrough and keep reloading, this is what you need to do. All right, so you're going to end up doing you're going to start with War Never Changes, and you're going to go through all the regular quests until you get to Road to Freedom. Now, you could maybe get Synth Retention, which is you see is in the Institute. You might get Reveille, which is Brotherhood. You might get When Freedom Calls, which is the Minutemen. You might get to those missions and see them. Just keep in mind which quest line we're going down. So let's say you get to Road to Freedom, right? This is the important one. Then you get to Tradecraft, which is where you're going to join the Railroad, all right? You're going to get an achievement for that. Then you get to Underground Undercover, right? This is how you start to make the saves. So you're going to do Underground Undercover, and then about halfway through, it's going to say, continue working for Father. It's going to like literally say that. Yeah. And then you need to stop playing. Do not play, because if you continue, you will then finish the Railroad quest line, which you can see here. Rocket's Red Glare achievement is down there. And then you could do one of the nuclear options, all right? If you continue that. So do not do that, all right? When you get to Underground Undercover, when it says continue working for Father, stop. And then reload the, and then stop doing that, and then start doing Synth Retention, all right? So do whatever things you need to get to Synth Retention, because you need to start the Institute quest line after that, all right? So Synth Retention, Battle for Bunker Hill, Mankind Redefined, and then once you get to Mass Fusion, that is the next place. That is the first save you're going to have to make, all right? So you're going to have to make a save there because it's going to say, do you want to betray the Brotherhood? I think it's betray. Or do you want to, by going with the Institute, or do you want to not and go with the Brotherhood? That is the point where you would reload and say, I want to do the Brotherhood, and then you would reload that save, right? You have to keep track of which save it is. Then, so let's say you're making the save, but you're doing the Institute, all right? Make the save. Good. Keep going. Pinned, powering up. All right, now you're going to make another save. This is where you're going to go back and do the Railroad. So let's say you're doing the Institute, like I said. So you're going to do powering up, make your save, then do end of the line, airship down, nuclear family. You just finished the Institute quest line, all right? Good. Now, you're going to reload the save from Mass Fusion, and you're going to say, I'm not going to betray the Brotherhood. And then you'll go to you'll start doing all of those missions from the Brotherhood, and then finish those. You see? That's how that works. Then the Institute will be mad at you. Then if you want to do the Railroad one, which we were just talking about, you go back to the other save during powering up, and then you finish Underground Undercover and then keep going. All right, hopefully that all made sense. And then basically the Minutemen is not a save itself. The Minutemen, I have been told you could do during any of these, but I've seen difficulties, but I can't explain them. It's kind of weird. I don't know. So just make sure you're looking for when freedom calls, sanctuary, to fight, taking independence, old guns. So hopefully that all made sense. I really hope it did. This literally took me so long to figure out, and so anyway. All right, so now let's move on because hopefully that made sense. I feel like if you have any questions, you can just let me know. Yeah, that's it. So category number 2, progress achievements. 10 achievements for 250 gamer score. Number 1, so I don't have to read all these. Reach level 5, 10, 25, and 50. And honestly, this was not so hard. I was at 56 maybe by the time I got 100% on this game. So it wasn't super long like Fallout 76 was, but it also wasn't really quick. So what you can do is there are a whole bunch of things you can do. You could obviously just keep doing missions, but there's a way when you craft things, you can craft things really quickly. Like, I don't remember what I'm going to put on the video, but like you can craft, like, I think carpets and shelves. Those are the things you can craft the easiest because you basically, when you're in workshop mode, you can go around to most things and just scrap it. So you can go up to like a house and scrap the entire house. Wow, that was rude. Well, nobody's living in it. But anyway, you can go up to trees and just scrap the trees. Yeah. And so then if you're scrapping trees like crazy, you have tons of wood. Then you can make tons of shelves. And if you just keep spamming that, like shelf, 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 you will just level up that XP so fast. Yeah. So that's the best way to like grind it out. Yeah, I don't know if I'll put up a video, but, I think that's good enough. I feel like you'll get that in time also. All right, number 5, pick 50 locks. That's something you'll get in time, especially if you've played a Fallout game. You know how that works. I got so many locks picked. Number 6, mass hole. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, kill 300 people and kill 300 creatures. I got that, no problem. All right, the harder they fall, kill 5 giant creatures. All right, so now I feel like the Minelurk Queen was a giant creature. Now, before I did the DLC, I had to actually look up a guide, which I'm going to put up here. But the guide showed where 5 creatures were, and then if you want to go find them, you can go get them. I did that, but then I did the DLC after that. I'm like, oh, another Minelurk Queen. Oh, another Minelurk Queen. So as long as I'm correct and the Minelurk Queen counts, you should just keep playing through the DLC and you'll probably have enough giant creatures. Or you could check out that video, all right? Number 9, discover 100 locations. Yeah, I discovered so many. You'll get that. And then 10, hack 50 terminals. This was not as hard as the other games. The one game, I forget which one, I was like, I still can't find 50. Yeah, there were plenty of terminals. I found so many. Now, here's the thing. If you fail at them, you will then lose that one. All right, you can save, I guess, beforehand. But what you do to make sure you don't lose these terminal mini games is you have four choices, and you could also upgrade to get 5. All right, so you have to figure out this code thing, which I can't figure out for some reason. I don't know. So I do 3 of them wrong. Well, maybe I get it, but if I get them wrong, 3 of them wrong, I back out, and then I go back in. I get all my 4 guesses back. But as soon as you do that 4th guess, it locks you out. All right, if it's wrong. And then eventually, you actually have a perk you can get eventually where you don't fail. Like, you will fail out, but you can go right back in and try it again. That was my favorite perk of all time. Yeah, because I'm bad at this minigame. So you could do that. So hopefully you'll get through that no problem. There were a lot of computers. Category 3, workshop achievements, 4 achievements for 100 gamer score. So this workshop thing, all right, this is totally new. I remember having it in 76. I never really used it, but in this game I did. All right, so number 1, scaver. I don't know, is that a word? I don't know. I guess like scavenger. Gather 1,000 resources used for crafting, and that I just got as I played through the game. Same thing with build 100 workshop items. And I feel like this one I also got as time progressed. I just kept getting it. All right, number 3, armed and dangerous. Create 50 weapon mods. So what you could do is you could take a baseball bat. This is what I did. So I had a baseball bat, and I created mods for each kind of color that you could put on it. So I created every color. So those are all the mods, and I put the mods on the bat. So I basically changed the color. And then what I did was I dropped on the floor, I dropped all the mods. I did not drop the bat, though. And then I continued to make those mods because making those mods are easy. And yeah, it was super easy. So yeah, I think I just needed wood. But yeah, so that's how I got it. I got it really fast too. So that's how I suggest getting it, unless you want to actually like find mods throughout the game or build them and then put them on weapons, which you can obviously do. There's nothing wrong with doing it like that too. All right, and then the last one, 4, Wasteland, do-it-yourself, DIY, craft 100 items. And I feel like, is this the one where I just sat down and cooked meals? I think I cooked meals for a whole bunch of times, and then I ended up getting this. Yeah, I was like, when am I going to get this 100 items thing? Like, I've crafted so much. Apparently, I hadn't. Yeah, so I kept crafting some food, and then eventually I got it. Yeah. Not everything counts. That's the funny part about it. That's actually not funny. So yeah, so I think the food and the chemical station, those are good places to start crafting items. All right. All right. So category 4, miscellaneous achievements, 6 achievements for 90 gamer score. Number 1, future retro, play a holotape game. So you have on your Pip-Boy, you can play holotape games. So you just have to play a holotape game, and that's it. Yeah, it's easy. That's always an easy one. Number 2, home run, get a home run. Wow. Okay. So for this one, you have to go to Diamond City, and Diamond City is I guess it's the Boston arena, whatever. I forget the name of it. Starts with an F. Anyway, people are probably saying it right now. So what you need to do is there are bases, like on a baseball field, and you need to, at the beginning of when you go into Diamond City, you start a home base, and then you need to basically run to first base and second base and third base and back home. Yeah, and if you run to each of them, which you probably see me doing in the video, it was really easy. So just, yeah, unless you don't know what baseball is, which I guess some people might not, yeah, you'll be fine. Number 3, touchdown. Get a touchdown. I don't really understand what this means. I guess this is if someone gets a touchdown in football, and football, American football, and then they throw the ball on the ground. I don't know. But what I did was, if you get shot with apparently one of the fat man guns, which is it's like a rocket thing. You know, you shoot like a nuclear bomb. So if you get shot with that, you get this achievement. So what I did was I found it. I had ammo for it, and I was like, oh, good, save. And then I shot the ground, and I think it was the ground. You'll probably see it here, and I got that achievement. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, really? So then I reloaded, and so I wasn't dead. And there you go. Get a touchdown. All right, number 4, prankster. Prankster's return. Oh, I hate this achievement. I remember this in Fallout 3. Place a grenade or mine while pickpocketing. Horrible. Yeah, so for this one, you can't do immediately. So you could sneak up on someone while they're sleeping and but the thing is, you're not gonna be able to put the grenade or the mine in their pocket. You need to be at least level 6, and you need to have perception rating of at least 1. All right, and then you also need to be 2-star rating in pickpocket. And then eventually, once you have that, then you have the ability, which is horrible, to put live grenades or mines in a person's inventory. Oh my gosh! So yeah, so I did that, pickpocket level 2. I went up to someone, I put it in there, and yeah, that was that. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Anyway, 5, gun for hire, complete 10 side quests. This was not hard. I think I may have gotten this without trying. However, number 6, complete 50 miscellaneous objectives. I did not get without trying. It's one of my last achievements. I don't know. There were not that many miscellaneous achievements that were easy or that I could even find. It was really difficult. So once I was in the Brotherhood storyline, right, the Brotherhood of Steel, I was able to throw down this grenade. They gave you this ability to buy these grenades from the blimp thing that they're in up in the sky, and you could buy them from the guy. And then when you throw the grenade in one area, a helicopter comes and picks you up, basically. The Brotherhood helicopter is like, hey, we're here. And then once you get on the helicopter, that counts as a miscellaneous objective. So then I got off the helicopter. I went to a different area, threw another grenade, and then I got on the helicopter, miscellaneous objective, and then got off. And I did that like 40 times. I must have had like 10 miscellaneous objectives before that. But honestly, I'm not really sure which ones are miscellaneous, which ones aren't. It was that was a little confusing for me. So that is a quick way to get that one done. It was annoying, but you know what? It got done. Anyway, so that's how you do it. Category 5, collectible achievements. 3 achievements for 50 gamer score. Number 1, they're not dolls. Number 2, they're action figures. And this is for collecting 10 and then 20 Vault-Tec bobbleheads. Yeah, so throughout the game, you just collect bobbleheads. And for this one, I'll put up a guide because this one I used the guide for to find some bobbleheads. But honestly, the bobbleheads aren't so hard to find. And then number 3, on the other hand, 20 magazines. That one, I think I may have found those without trying, because also in the DLCs there are magazines too. But I'll put up a guide for both, probably, just because some people don't want to actually like look on their own. So I mean that makes sense. Not everybody wants to find collectibles, but yeah. So they weren't as hard as the other games to find. Category 6, NPC awards, achievements. What am I saying? 4 achievements for 80 gamer score. All right. Oh, dear. NPC achievements. All right. Number 1, community organizer, 20 gamer score, ally with 3 settlements. All right. So throughout the story, once you side with the Minutemen, which is part of the story, you're going to be the guy, oh my gosh, what's his name? Preston. He's going to say to you, all right, go save these people and do their whole little thing. And then you go and you help them out. And then eventually, once they open up their area to you and their workshop to you, that's like allying. All right. So I helped other areas, and I didn't have the workshop open, and it wasn't allying. It had to be 3 settlements. In total, I got a lot of settlements. So just keep playing the game and helping people that he gives you. And then you'll end up getting this, all right? Number 2, never go it alone. Recruit 5 separate companions. Yeah, again, unlike New Vegas, where I had to find each of the companions that were possible, there were so many companions in this game. I got this before I was halfway done with the game. So just keep doing people's missions, keep doing the story. You'll get this. Number 3, lovable. Reach maximum relationship level with a companion. All right. So now the person I did this with was. Her name was Kate, all right, C-A-I-T, Kate. And I found her at the combat zone, and then you could do this with any character, but it's different for different people. Everybody likes different things. Some people like stealing, some people like lockpicking, some people like when you're honest. Yeah. So, but anyway, Kate apparently, along with a couple other people, like when you're naked. I mean, you have your underwear on, of course, but you're naked and you travel to newer areas so people could see you and be like, "Hey, look, I'm naked." What? Like, really? All right, Kate. So, yeah, I found her in the combat zone. I saved her from what she was in, which I won't tell you what that is. And then she became my companion eventually, and I just kept talking to her, and I kept, like, helping her out. And then, I just kept traveling with no clothes on. It was really awkward, to be honest. And every time it said, Kate liked that. I'm like, all right. Eventually, and I've been told that you do not have to do this in order to win affinity with her. But I did. I had to finish her actual story mission, so she has a backstory and like a traumatic backstory, and you have to basically go and help her, bring her somewhere. I don't want to spoil anything. You have to bring her somewhere to help her out, and that'll be one of her missions. So I found that by just talking to her and having conversations. All right? So that's all I'm going to say about that. You just need to talk to these NPCs, whoever you choose to do this with. The dog... Dog Meat loves you, I think, all the way from the start, but he doesn't count. I think Dog Meat's a boy. Anyway, but so like another character that people like to have there is Piper, or the robot you start out with in the beginning. So yeah, but if you want, you can look online and find the specifics about that character and see what that companion wants. But yeah, so otherwise, just talk to them. 4, benevolent leader. Reach maximum happiness in a large settlement. Oh, boy. All right. So this is deceiving. So what I did was this. And I'm going to explain this, and you're not going to understand it if you haven't played this game right away, but once you play it, you'll start to understand, all right? So when you have a settlement that you're going to take care of, it's going to say happiness, and it's going to say a number, all right? So what I did was I went to the Red Rocket, and this is the place that most people say to go. And I did this in other places, and it didn't work for some reason, all right? But I went to the Red Rocket, which is right by the area where you start, and I put food. I put a whole bunch of mute fruit. I think 20 mute fruit into the storage area. You can probably see what it is in the video. I put a turret in the front, so I had defense. I put 2 beds in the place, and I put I put some. Oh, I put a water pump there too. All right. So those are the things I put there. Then at that point, I had to be high enough level to be able to put a bar, like a bar where you would drink. And so so you have to raise your, you have to have the perks up high enough to do that. I forget exactly which perk it was, but you needed a specific one. And then you could build a bar, and I built like a 2-star bar, right? So far I have a 2-star bar. I have a defense system. I have like a turret. I had water, and I had some mute fruit in the thing, so food, and I had 2 beds, all right? Then literally, see, because people tell you this has to be a huge settlement. They're wrong. Maybe it used to be, but not in 2024. It isn't. All right? And you don't have to have every single thing. All you need is what I'm telling you, because I did it. And so what you do after that is you go to another settlement. You send one of your settlers to this place, and automatically it should be happiness 80. All right? You're like, why happiness 80? I don't know why, but that's what it should be. All right? So I did this. I actually messed up. I was stuck at 96 or 97. I'm like, why? Why am I stuck at these numbers? I restarted it. I scrapped everything, and I started new, and I did this, and it went to 80. Then what happens is you get this arrow. It's a green arrow next to the happiness, and it's going to go up. If the red arrow's there, that's bad. That means they're unhappy. But what I did was, once this person was there, I assigned them to the bar. So they're working at the bar, serving no one, because nobody's coming by. Maybe a death claw. I don't know. Anyway. And then I went to bed in one of the beds for 24 hours. Yeah. And then after 24 hours, I waited a little. I actually went back to bed for 24 hours. And then I think the sleeping time doesn't really matter. It's an amount of time has to go by. But eventually that 80, I think, turned into 83, if I remember correctly. All right. Did that again. Went to sleep for 24 hours and let time pass. And then went to sleep for another 24 hours. And then eventually went to 86. And then did it again, 89. And did it again. I think it may have went to 90, 92. I forget. But it started going much slower after that. Like 92 and maybe like 95 and then 96. Once it gets to 95, it goes by 1. So if you're starting to move up a happiness number by 1 before 95, I think you have a problem. All right. This is what I found out in failing. All right, so once it gets to 95, it'll go to 96, which is the first 1 single digit moving. And then if it does that, then you're in a good spot as long as nothing changed and there's enough mute fruit, which I never ran out. Because then it got to 100. Yeah, and my friend Night of Fire, she did the same thing. She was like, how do I do this? I'm trying. And I told her these exact details, and then she got it too, like right away. Yeah, I don't know why this works. I don't know why the achievement doesn't sound like this is what it should be. Yeah, but this is what it should be. So I don't know if there's anything else I had to say about it. I'll probably have it up on the screen at some point. All right. So, but yeah, that's how you get that achievement easily. Like now, 2024. So, all right. Category 7, Contraptions Workshop DLC Achievements. All right. So that is the entire base game that we just did. All right. That was it. That was all of it. Yeah, not that bad, right? Except for that settlement thing. Anyway, categories. Yeah, so I just read this already. So this is where you start doing some of the DLCs that are not too long. These are kind of like extra DLCs. So this one, number 1, mass production. Produce 100 objects from your builders. So when I'm in my base or whatever, I was also in the original place, Sanctuary. I had a whole bunch of people there. It was like a base too. And so what I did was, this is all stuff you can do there. So in this case, the trick I did for this was I built the builders. Builders is the type of machine. And then I powered it because you have to always put power on these things. All right. So then I took all my steel and I made steel balls. I don't know why steel, but somewhere I read online that making steel balls out of steel is the easiest. Because getting steel is super easy. When you scrap stuff, you get a lot of steel. So that's something I had. So yeah, so I just built a whole bunch of builders. I think only one ended up working. One of the builders, I don't know why. Whatever. So, but yeah, so I just kept building steel balls. And eventually when I got 100, it unlocked. Yeah, I was like, all right. So you can do this multiple ways, but that's the item that I used. All right. So yeah, just keep doing that. Number 2, timeout. Assign a settler to a pillory. That was super easy. You just have to go into the options. It'll be here once all the DLCs are unlocked and stuff. The pillory will be an option. You do that, and you just assign someone to it because you can assign people to anything. All right, you'll get that. And number 3, show off. Display a weapon on a weapon rack, armor on an armor rack, and power armor on a power armor display. So as long as you have the materials to build these 3 things, a weapon rack, armor rack, and a power armor display, you just build them like in the video. And then I remember I had to I think I had to press right trigger to, I forget if it was right trigger to actually equip it to the thing, but I remember trying to put it on. I'm like, how do I put this on? You have to actually equip it to the actual rack. Yeah. But that DLC was not super hard. All right, unlike Category 8, oh my, Wasteland Workshop DLC achievements, 3 achievements for 50 gamer score. And no, not all of this is actually hard. 2 and 3 are actually easy. But number 1, docile. Woo! I don't even know what happened. So 15 gamer score, had 5 tame creatures in the settlement. So I had built, number 2, I had built one of every single cage. Which, in order to get every cage, I don't know if I'm going to put up here on the screen. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably put it up on the screen. What you need for each cage, what kind of food you need. But for the most part, you only need certain items to build that you would normally use. But then you need like red roach meat or something for a specific cage, to attract whatever. Or you need other stuff you see here. But it was annoying to find some of that stuff. So just as you're looking throughout the game, make sure you're looking for these things. And I found this. Like the deer meat. Let me go put it aside in my storage. Let me save it for this achievement. Yeah, make sure you do that. So anyway, back to number 1. I had every single type of these cages, one of each, and I tried to have 5 tame creatures. Some of these creatures are not malicious. They're not going to hurt you. So I don't have to tame them. But so I had let's say the Death Claw cage. Oh dear. All right. So as soon as the Death Claw came out, I don't even know which creature is on the screen right now, but maybe the scorpion thing. I don't know. But they came out, and you're able to press the button to tame it, and sometimes you will, and sometimes you won't. Yeah. I mean, that stinks if it doesn't, because then it starts killing the other ones. And you need to have 5 of them tamed. And as far as I know, it says that at the same time. So I kept opening the cages, trying to tame it, opening the cages, trying to tame it. And I kept trying to get 5 of them. I could not get all 5. So the key elements to this, though, when you really think about it, right, what you need is you need to have certain perks that will help. The 2 perks that I had to have were the Wasteland Whisperer perk, and the other one was the Animal Friend perk. All right. So now some people say that you don't need them. I don't know. I had both those perks. All right. And then I built. So these are the things I built with it. I built a large generator, and I built a large switched power pylon next to each of the cages. Now, in some cases, some people only build 4 or 5 bug cages. And that's fine. You could do that. I just had these big ones, right? And then I built a beta wave emitter, and then I kept sleeping until they were actually caught. Once they're caught, then I would flip the switch of the emitter thing to off. There's a switch there. Once you do that, they shouldn't attack you when you open up the cage. All right. So now you can do that. So some people say that when you open up that cage, you put your weapon at them, and then you can tame them with that. You kind of have to do both of those things in order to get it. Yeah. But honestly, this is the only achievement in the game I still don't get, because somehow at some point I had 2 tamed and I got the achievement. So either from multiple playthroughs I kept doing it and I kept counting, or I had 5 there and I didn't realize it. I don't know. But so what you get. So just hopefully that made any sense. I don't know if I'll put up a video to make more sense. But definitely have 5 cages. Definitely have those 2 perks. Definitely have the wave emitter with the switch turned off once they're caught. And then they should be able to come out. Yeah, and maybe try not to get a death claw. Maybe try to get some of the main bugs, all right? Yeah, that'll probably be good. But you can't do dogs, animals, dogs, cats, Brahmin, nothing like that, all right? So hopefully that made sense. I know that was a tough one. I actually saw someone the other day, and that was the only achievement they're missing on their game. I'm like, oh, man. All right. So, yeah, build the 2 we talked about, and 3 was easy. Spectated area, fight in a settlement. You just have to build two of the little arenas, and then you have to put a bell. And then once you ring the bell, they'll start fighting. And then, yeah, that's horrible that you made them do this. But, yeah, you get the achievement for that. There you go. All right, number 9, Automatron DLC achievements. 5 achievements for 100 gamer score. So for the rest of these DLCs, you need to be listening to certain radio stations, like beacons, and they're going to let you know when to start these. So for this one, for the Automatron, a couple things have to happen. You have to be level 15 in the game, and then you're going to be listening to the caravan distress signal on your Pip-Boy. All right, that's when it'll come up with the actual like missions and stuff. Right. So just listen to those things. I'm not going to tell you any more details about that. And then once you do, you'll complete 1, 2, and 3 in this achievement list here. And then 4 and 5. So 4 unlock 10 robot mods. As you kill robots or break robots, you can pick up their mods. Yeah, so I unlocked 10 robot mods not too long. And then once you do, you can go back to your workshop and you can build 10 robot mods. You can actually build a robot. But you have to make the robot building like device. Like there's this big machine thing you could build where you could build robots. And it actually came when this DLC came out. So, yes, you have to have enough supplies for that, which I'm going to let you figure all that on your own. But you need to build that robot machine maker. Then you just put the mods on the robot, and it was super easy. Yeah, so I guess making the machine to make the robots was the hardest part. All right, Category 10, Vault-Tec Workshop DLC Achievements. And this is 3 achievements for 50 gamer score. And so for this, you need to be level 20 or higher, and you'll be hearing to the Vault 88 radio beacon. And once you do that, you go to Vault 88, and I won't tell you much, but all I'll tell you is, number 1, Oversight. When you meet the Overseer, make a save, kill the Overseer, and then you'll get this achievement. Yeah. You could do it later on, but I just did it right away. And I felt really bad, so I reloaded, obviously, and I continued. All right, number 2, unlock all Vault 88 build areas. So there were a few, I think there were 4 build areas, and honestly, I feel like this was part of the story. Like, you had to do all that. And then eventually, people will come to the vault, and you have to equip them with a Vault 88 suit and a Pip-Boy, which will be available once they come. Yeah, and you have to talk to them. So that's really it. Most of this, besides killing the Overseer, was story. Yeah, I felt like that was all story. So just, yeah, that's how you do that. And it was really cool. So the next one is Category 11, Far Harbor DLC Achievements. This was really good. 10 achievements for 180 gamer score. All right, so this you need to be level 20 or higher. And then you're going to hear the Valentine Detective Agency. They're going to have a message up on the and they're actually located in Diamond City. So yeah, so once you get, yeah, well, I won't tell you any more information, but yeah, that's the radio you're going to be listening to for that. Then you can start the Far Harbor missions. So once you go to Far Harbor, well, you'll see it's a separate area. You're going to complete all those quests. There you go. But the bottom section here. All right. So this took a long time. Number 6, cook one of the new Far Harbor recipes. I won't tell you the new creatures' names and stuff. You might see it on the video if I'm putting it up. But once I killed one, which are just Far Harbor creatures, I cooked it in the cooking station. I got that achievement. Yeah. Number 7, Islanders Almanac. And I'll put up a guide for this one. Collect all the issues of the Islanders Almanac magazine. It's a specific collectible. There were not that many, and it was not that hard to find. But I'll put up that. You can watch that. 8, New England Vacationer. Discover 20 Far Harbor locations. Again, that wasn't that hard. I just didn't get it easily because I had to kind of like find out. I had to walk all over the place, basically. I think just almost all of them were part of the story, but then there were a few missing. So walk around the outside of the island. That's a good place to go. And then number 9, push back the fog, unlock 3 Far Harbor Workshop locations. This was actually kind of hard. I don't know if I might put up a guide for this too. The reason why is because unlike the other one, trying to find the workshop locations was like quest related. And so yeah, in the video I put up, if I put up a video, it'll show you what quests to do and when you get these. Actually, the video I might put up might have all of this stuff, yeah. But otherwise, just do all the quests. Like, talk to each person and do all the quests, and I feel like you will get all those workshop locations at that point. And number 10, hooked. Defeat 30 Far Harbor sea creatures. This was actually really hard because I couldn't find all the sea creatures. Yeah. So, because you find, like, mine lurks. Those are not Far Harbor creatures. Those are, like, regular Fallout creatures. So you need to go on the edges of the island, like by the water, by the ocean that's surrounding the island. That's a good place to find a lot of these creatures. Yeah, there are just keep looking. In the beginning, you're going to kill a whole bunch in the part of the story. And in fact, I should have waited because as I continued, I think I found more. I ended up trying to get this beforehand. Yeah. So it takes a little while to get all that, and I was kind of confused, but that's all you have to do. It's really not as complicated as it sounds. And then category 12, Nuka-World DLC achievements. 10 achievements for 170 gamer score. All right, this was fantastically fantastic and annoying. All right, and so the first 4 are not all of the missions. These are just a handful of missions. And what happens is, starting it, you get taken for a ride. And the grand tour is a long thing. You got to go to all these different theme park, like these different sites on the Nuka-World theme park, and you have to clear them all. So you have to do a whole bunch of missions, like a lot of missions. That's why it takes a long time in order to clear all the creatures from that mission and clear all the enemies from that mission. And then once... Oh, by the way, this is where you're a bad guy, this entire DLC. I kind of didn't like that, but most people will. So yeah, so once you clear it, then you go back to the original area where you are, like where all the bad guys are. The raiders. And then you get them to join each area. Like, you're like, all right, the area is clear. Let's send some of those bad guys over there, you know, and then they take over the area. And then you clear the next area and you send a whole bunch of people there. And you take over the area. Same, you know, you just keep doing it over and over. Once you have all of them, you did the grand tour. All right, I think there was one area you didn't have to do, but, you know, you might as well do all of them. Home Sweet Home, that comes afterwards. That is where you're going to start bringing the raiders into the actual game, like Boston. And you're going to start to take over. Yeah. We'll talk about that more. Number 4, Empower Play happens towards the end. Once I started to, like, bring the raiders back to the Commonwealth, which is the Boston area, then they sent me this message saying, hey, these people are doing this specific thing that I'm not going to tell you because it's a spoiler. So, yeah, come back and help. And then that was the last thing. That was actually the last achievement I got in the entire game. So let's go to these other ones. 5, collect every issue of Scav magazine. Again, I'm going to put up guides. I don't know if it's a huge guide with all this or if it's just that. But, you know, finding those was not hard. Just in the different areas, you'll find it. If you look really well, you'll find them. Number 6, beverage year. Create 20 different flavors of Nuka-Cola. For this, you have to find each recipe. So that's going to probably be in this collectible thing I'm putting up to the video. Because you have to find each recipe. And once you find each recipe, I felt like it wasn't too hard. You just have to get the different type of Nuka-Colas to add and combine with each other. But you need to find those 20 recipes. That was the problem. All right, number 7, all sugared up. Defeat 40 Nuka-World creatures while under the effect of any Nuka mix flavor. So it has to be one of the 20 flavors that you mixed up together. It can't be one of the other types of Nuka things. I didn't realize that, and I was killing creatures with the regular stuff and not mixes. The problem is you also have to look in the menu and look at, like, your status effects, because some of these mixes only last like for like a second. It's like, and then you're going to kill something, it's not going to have the effect of the mix. So you need to make sure you know which ones are longer. So, you know, you can just test them out. I'll let you figure all that out. But number 8, eyes on the prize. So anyway, hopefully you'll get that. There are plenty of creatures that you find that are specific to Nuka-World. These are not creatures like, again, mine lurks that are in everywhere, or death claws that are everywhere. You know, these are specific ones, and I'm going to let you find out what those are because they're gross. Anyway, 8, eyes on the prize. Redeem 100,000 tickets at the Nuka-Cade. Okay, so this thing. All right. So at the Nuka-Cade, you have to get tickets, and this takes literally hours, a long time. All right. So what I did was I went to the one game where the things are going across, and I have to shoot them, and the more I get, the higher my score is, the more tickets that come out of the machine. Right? If you have an explosive weapon with a lot of ammo and you shoot the screen, all of the things on the screen will blow up and it'll count for all those points. That is the way you do this, all right? You can use the water gun. It's no ammo. That's another way people like to do this. You can go up and hit with melee. There's no ammo for that too. So that's another way people do it. But the best way to do it is to have a weapon with the explosive mod. You shoot it at them, they all explode. Next, a whole bunch of them come up, shoot it, they all explode. And here's what I did. I watched the new Fallout show, which I still haven't finished, which at the time you listen to this, I might have finished it. But I watched the first 3 episodes of the new Fallout show, and I was just doing this the entire time while I was watching the show. And by the end of the 3rd episode, I ended up finishing this. So how long was that? I don't even know. A couple hours? Yeah, but that's how long it took me. So it isn't as hard as people say. But as long as you're doing it like that, if you're going to shoot each of these legit, like just with each bullet, yeah, that's going to be forever. But so that's the way you get this done quickly. And I was actually less frustrated with this than I was with other stuff. Yeah. All right. And then the last 2, raiding for a living, complete 12 quests for any Nuka-World Raider gang. So there are 3 like gang bosses in this part. There are Mags, Nisha, and Mason. And what you need to do is you need to go to them, and they're going to say, hey, do this job for me. Either kill this person. Actually, it's usually kill the person. And then you go back to the actual Commonwealth in Boston, and then you go do it. And then once it's done, you go back to them and say it's done, and then you completed one of the quests, all right? Now, the best way to do this is you go to all 3 of those bosses, get a job from each of them, go to the Commonwealth, Boston, and go kill the people, come back, tell each of them you're done, get a new quest from each of them, and then that's 3 at a time. So by the time you have to get to the 12, you just have to do it 4 times. So yeah, that's what I did. It did take a long time. It was a little frustrating to keep going back and forth, but it wasn't super long as long as you did 3 at a time. Hopefully that made sense. And then number 10, hostile takeover. Establish 8 raider camps in the Commonwealth. And what you need to do for this is the Home Sweet Home mission, basically the quest. And so you're going to talk to this guy, Shank. Really? Is his name Shank? And you're going to talk to Shank. He's going to teach you how to do all this, how to take over an area of the Commonwealth that you had friends on. And they're like, what? So you need to go there, and you need to tell them, we're going to take over this spot. All right. So, and once you take over the spot, then you're going to send people there and they're going to completely take it over. Then you could say, I want to do a new spot. And they're going to say, which one? And then you do. So basically you do 8 of them. Yeah. Trying to get that started was a little frustrating at first, but as long as you just talk to Shank, do what he's asking, and then, yeah, you will get that. You just have to do 8 of them. And he's going to go to the outpost too. Yeah, that's it. So, and if you pick a place that doesn't have anybody in it, you could have like no fight. Or if you pick a place that you already own, you can convince them to leave. There are different ways you can go about that. But yeah, so this is the game. This was a lot. This is a big plan. Hopefully you all understood what I said for all of this. If you have any questions, please ask me any questions in the comments, because there are a lot of things I did not share that I can share. And hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it all made sense. Yeah, and I will see you next time on the Achievement Planner.